We played some Relay Brothers stuff at Summer Games Done Quick 2019. It's a pretty cool idea. I mean, the idea is they just have a bunch of folks and everyone just does like 4 bars or 8 bars or whatever, right? Guile's theme, let's go. Man, it's just too good. It's just far too good. So, hello, we're back. It's true. So, speaking of games done quick, freaking awesome Games Done Quick just finished last week, and it was awesome. It was, as it says in the name, awesome. Raised $3 million again. Not bad. Not bad at all. They did a Mario Maker 2 relay race. Speaking of Gerudo Valley, they did a Mario Maker 2 relay race with a level by composer. You know? Do you know him? He's a fan music maker. He's made some music for some fan games here and there, like ROM hacks and stuff. And he's been featured at GDQ a few different times. But, man, let me try and find the... I have a link, actually. I want y'all to put this link in another tab and just press pause and save for later, because it's just so good. Close? There we go. Yeah, check this out. When you have time, watch that. Freaking awesome. It's time-stamped to the cadence of Hyrule. Like, fan-made level. So freaking awesome. They also ran Celeste, the farewell chapter, so Flare Bear, one of our awesome players, ran Celeste and killed it. They ran Action Hank, another game we worked on. They ran Manifold Garden, a game we consulted on. And they ran Subnautica, I think? Was it Subnautica also? I think it was Subnautica, yeah. And yeah, there's like tons of stuff we worked on. It's nuts. Like for us, it's crazy. I kind of wish we were there. It's definitely a landmark year as far as... I mean, it was cool for me personally, because I've been watching Games Done Quick events since like 2011? Maybe 2012, tops? Like the latest, 2012. Like a long, long time, and like I've been just deep into it, which is a big reason why we even became involved in the first place, right? Oh, hello, we're done. And yeah, so for me personally, to see like all these things we'd worked on, make it into the marathon is pretty cool. Very, very cool. But enough about me. I hope everyone had an awesome holiday break. I hope you got a holiday break. I know some people have a shorter one than others. Managed to make it out to the island, well, Vancouver Island, where my sister lives, and I didn't even bring my laptop. I just left it at home. There came a moment when I looked at my desk with my laptop on it and went, do I need to? And I didn't. Just brought my Switch and marathoned, like, yo, shout out to Nanaimo. Yeah, I rolled into to the Departure Bay Terminal, actually, in Nanaimo. Yeah, so ended up marathoning, well, not marathoning entirely. I played through like 9, well, through is a generous word. I played like 9 indie games or something. I played Katana Zero, put that one through, it was awesome. I played Dead Cells for a while, until I was like, okay, I'm gonna get hooked on this. I know I don't need to get hooked on a roguelite right now, so I played probably like 4 or 5 hours of it, and I was like, all right, I get the gist. And then I played Rhyme. I think I played like, I don't know, 50% of that one. I was like, okay, I've had enough of that one too. And played Black Future. Is that what it's called? Black Future 88? Similarly, I was like, okay, so another roguelite. Don't need to get hooked. Got the gist. And then I played Moonlighter, which I got strangely hooked on. If you don't know Moonlighter, it's like a merchant. You play a merchant but you moonlight as like a dungeon crawling hero kind of, and you like find stuff in the dungeons, and then bring it back to the shop to sell it, and it's got this weird, like strangely fun economy mechanic because you're just some guy, and you're finding stuff in these strange dungeons that have been locked away for a long time. So you're bringing stuff back, and you're like, I don't know what this is worth. I have no idea what people would pay for this. So you just like guess a price, and then when people come to this shop, their reactions tell you if you're like hitting the mark or not as far as what the thing's worth. Like how they know what it's worth is perhaps questionable, but yeah, it's pretty sick overall. Like I had a great time with it. Oh, this is so good too, man. We played this in the starting soon screen for SGDQ last year, and the chat was freaking out. How cool, right? So freaking cool. Yeah, Moonlighter's like audio was kind of regrettable. The music was great, but the sound design smacked of being done by the composer. Just seemed like less attention was given. There's like moments where there's a huge laser enemy. It's like across the whole screen, and it's just silent. And it's like, that's too bad. But anyways, I'm gonna close this down because y'all didn't join this stream to hear about what games I'm playing. Let's look at some stuff instead. Where are you guys based? I often try to do the first one. Okay, you're in Alabama. Currently, if this is to be trusted. Oh, I should zoom in too. Zooming in. Alabama. We're zoomed way in here. I'm gonna go 150 for the time being. Zoomed way in, and then we got Yuso, who I assume is in Finland. Are you in Finland, or are you just from there? There's no bio. Oh, there's a bio. You're living in Finland. There it is. Tampere. Cool. Oh, okay, well, I'm stoked. Apparently, you both come highly recommended, by the way, by one. Whoa. Okay, this is not working at 150. Heads up on that one. Jeez, it's like some stuff is freaking out when zoomed in. Yeah, one Ryan at Blip Sounds was telling me that I should be looking forward to this stream. So we shall see, my friends. We'll see. If this is your first time joining Real Talk, this is a game audio demo reel / portfolio / website review stream. We're taking a look at some content from Lord Thayer. I'm gonna zoom back out again. I can't deal with it. And also Yuso Tolonen. They have very kindly and courageously submitted some content to have a look at. So we're going to look at it from the standpoint of kind of like a bit of a role-playing thing. We're kind of playing the role of myself and kind of everyone in the chat too. If you have ideas or feedback, then of course have at her. This is a very constructive criticism kind of streams, so any ideas are certainly welcome. It's, you know, we're open to discussion for sure. But the big thing is that we're all going in blind from the perspective of a potential employer. Blind meaning I haven't really looked at their stuff before, hence why I had to like look for where they're from and stuff. I haven't seen anything from them before, and this one's kind of like getting to the edges too, eh? So apart from seeing it like real briefly when I saved the links, and that's about it. So we're gonna be looking at it from a few controlled criteria standpoints just to keep things somewhat on the rails here. Disco Eternal is 2 a.m. just chilling. Well, I hope so if it's 2 a.m. Chilling is the thing to do. Or sleeping. Thank you for staying up. I hope you're having a fine evening. Okay, we're looking at these things just to keep this chat on the rails somewhat. We're looking at presentation. That includes the site on the whole. We already saw this weird thing happening here. The site on the whole, it's not a web design feedback stream, but we do just do like, you know, basic, you know, feedback like navigation or aesthetic taste or that kind of thing. Just looking at it from a standpoint of, hey, here was my experience on your website, and perhaps you can learn from that, right? As far as where I clicked first or that kind of thing. Okay, so we're also looking at the reel itself, obviously, like the general, the video content that Yuso and I missed your name, man. What even is it? Is it Thayer? I'm for sure saying that wrong. Lord Thayer. Well, I'm just saying Thayer, I guess. Thayer. Is it like Thayer, like hard? Helu. Where's his name from? You gotta inform me. This is an interesting name. Thayer Helu. Thayer. Okay. So yeah, Yuso and Thayer. Okay, we're looking at the content on their videos and such, as far as general flow, how long the thing is, the titling on them, if you have enough information or too much information. Ideally, you should be telling something of a story of yourself. It's like a teaser trailer for you, so we'll try and look at it from that standpoint. As well, down here, material selection, we're looking at what kind of content is in your demo reel, as far as what kind of games you've shown, or if it's like film content or implementation content or whatever, and what those various clips might suggest to someone coming in blind like myself or another potential employer, what that might suggest about your past work history, your current skill sets, and maybe most importantly, in some cases, your future ambitions in game audio. The third one down there is content quality. We're looking simply, is it good? And if it's not quite so good in some ways, we might try to suggest, areas to focus, to level up in some respect. And finally, distinction is just, are you standing out in any respect? And it really can be in any respect. It could be a cool, slick website. I mean, this thing, apart from the zooming issues, it's a cool site. It's all pixel art. Here he is with a cool pooch and some cool cats. And there's like a guitar on the wall and stuff, some instruments. It's pretty cool. Like this site immediately says like, I am serious about this job, as opposed to. And not to suggest that some people are not serious because they don't have pixel art backgrounds, but if you consider something like this page compared to a basic Squarespace kind of out-of-the-box template, this one is more likely to stand out in memory just by default. And the quality of the work is almost secondary. This one just says, it kind of suggests, maybe like on a subconscious level, just immediately, like, I'm very serious about this job. Whereas the other one, although it might be amazing, it just doesn't say that right away. And it's not kind of standing out in that same way as far as distinction is concerned. So, anyway, I guess we can jump back into it here. First off, I want to welcome everyone in. I know it's, we didn't, I didn't want to start last week just due to, well, being the first week back and we're trying to spin up, and it's kind of crazy naturally being the first week back in the office. But thank you so much for joining us yet again in 2020. Should be a pretty good year for us. Last year was kind of strange. Like, not strange. It was kind of, strange is the wrong word. It was simply just an in-between year for us for like releases and stuff for games. Oh, a little scrunch. So, this year should be a little more interesting as far as like things come out. Like last year we had Cadence of Hyrule that came out, and like Celeste Farewell and Subnautica Below Zero in early access in January. And that's kind of it. Is there anything else that came out? Yeah, like a lot of stuff's in development. So we're looking forward to this year as far as more things, being notable as far as things we worked on and coming out. So I'm stoked. And I hope that you all have exciting years ahead of you as well. So first off, bassist, good to see you. Dale, yo, Deleger, yeah. Tosca Volk, so excited to finally catch one of these streams live, usually at work, but I'm on leave. Hey, cool. Thank you for being here. Disco Eternal. Oh, that is you, Yuso. I didn't realize that. I'm just talking to you like you're some random. Disco Eternal. Of course, with a K, naturally, not a C. Finns don't use C's. Cool, Disco Eternal. Well, thank you for making the stream. We're going to do you first, absolutely, because you're a little further away as far as time zones are concerned. Pop L2 Spam. Jonathan, I think is your name? Jonathan, what up? Alex, hey pal, I hope you're doing good. Simply Steve says Mario Maker really was hype. Yeah, man, it was so good. So good. And it was Subnautica, thank you. Allie. Good to see you, Allie. I saw your comment on Norway and how tough it is to catch streams while in Norway. Yeah, maybe it's worth doing this earlier on in the day or something, like 1 p.m. Make it a bit easier to catch in Europe. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of like it being the end of my day, just from a selfish standpoint, but maybe it's worth doing in the middle and breaking things up. Oh, you like Moonlighter right there? Awesome. Yeah, it's good. Pumodi. Yo, I haven't seen him for a while. I saw you on Twitter, I guess. Tic Tac Foe is now following you on Twitch. No kidding. What up? Good to see you too. Reverb in the Void. Holy, there's a lot of good names here. And Tosu, or Tosuda? Tosuda. And Murkamsme. Yeah, hey yo. What up, Mur? And Goblin Cave Studios. Holy, I'll never get a time that works well for everyone. Yeah, I mean, probably not, but there must be, like, a time that works better. I mean, in general, if I have... It also allows us... I want to get into some more guest hosting kind of stuff this year as well. As far as in the past, if some of you are familiar with our past streams, like last year, we've had various guest hosts from around the industry, people working in freelance positions, like Austin Wintry or Adam Gubman or, who else been here? There's like Eduardo Ortiz Frau was here one time. We've had Mike Moraski and Emily Ridgway from Valve. We had Cameron Stoddard from Double Fine. We had Ariel Gross, now at Team Audio. There's like a lot of folks who had on. Jacqueline Shoemate was on here from Microsoft, which she was there. Was she still at Microsoft at that point? I can't recall. But of course, it leads to just a wider kind of perspective than just my dummy opinion every single week, right? So I feel kind of bad being like, hey, like here's this thing that I believe that everyone already knows. But whereas, I mean, of course, hearing input from like Justin Bell at Obsidian is like super, super helpful, right? And it's completely different. It's from a AAA scene, whereas I just can't offer that perspective. It's not my background. So I feel like it's probably a worthwhile thing considering how many people, or just the wide variety of kind of aims that people have when they're giving their work to us. Either it's freelance or working for a studio like ours for like Power Up or Hexany or whomever in audio, or working for AAA or themselves, whatever. So, okay, Yuso, enough. Welcome, my friend. Tervetuloa. It's welcome, right? Let's go into this page. We got Yuso Tolonen. Hey, my name is Yuso Tolonen. I'm a game sound designer currently living in Tampere, Finland. Nailed it. Thanks, buddy. I find a stupid amount of joy figuring out a way how to tell a story with sound and how to make that into a functional and immersive part of a fictional world. My latest work includes Hero Siege by Panic Art Studios, and I'm currently working in-house at Namita Diamond Factory. Is it an actual diamond factory, or is that like it's a studio? Just is a diamond factory. Okay, we got some projects here, latest projects. Sound design breakdown of Rise's Realm Warp, cool. More Rise things, Unreal Wise tech demo, blip sounds. Oh, is there more things? Yeah, I don't love these like side scroll things. I always miss them. There's only two more things. I think you can stand to just put them beneath, man. I feel like this arrow is so easily missed, and like smaller too. We'll go full size, right? I guess it could be on the page if it's like that. If I reload. Yeah. So no, there's still only 5 or 6. So there's that's kind of dumber actually. We can't fit the entire image. Like there it is. Yeah, I don't love it being super wide, but it's perhaps a preferential thing. I feel like 3 and 3 stacked is totally fine and wouldn't need to be dealing with like resolution concerns and that kind of thing, you know? It's probably fine. I'd love to hear from you. Here it is, Gmail, we got LinkedIn, we got YouTube. Does it work? Oh yeah, sure does. We got Twitter. Does it work? That definitely works. Great, Wix.com. But you're paying for it. Thank you for paying for Wix. So we don't have the make your free web page of the Wix.com today at the top of the page. Looks really bad. Okay, we got the pictures like fine. You got what looks to be a picture of maybe a Reaper in the background. I can't tell what that is. Yeah, I love pictures that like show you in the act, you know, like playing bass or whatever, just something audio related. But this is great. Sound design, real, and that's all there is, right? It's like a vertical page. If I click things, it goes down. Yeah, portfolio. Oh no, it's a different page. Okay. But this is the same thing as what we saw below, right? No, it's not. There's more things. Okay. Okay, so there's a lot of things in portfolio to look at afterwards. We got home. That's kind of misleading, isn't it? Like if portfolio is not the same as this, like latest projects, I guess you want people to see it first, and then portfolio is just more things. I'm not sure. So, okay, so moving on to real stuff, we have sound design real, sound design showcase of linear works, only linear, okay? And then we have Unreal Wise tech demo teaser. A quick clip of a game I created in Unreal and used Wise to implement the sounds. Full walkthrough of the game, features, and implementation is here under portfolio. There it is, okay. So immediately I feel like you probably don't need both these things in the front. I'm a strong believer in just leading with your absolute strongest foot, and putting two things here is kind of like, well, like here's two things. I'm not sure what you want to see, but there you go. And I feel like, well, let's see how long this is. How long is your sound design reel? A minute. Okay, that's fine. So your sound design reel is a minute long. This thing is how long? Like 4? Oh, geez, that's short. It's 45 seconds. Okay. 47 seconds. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll watch it. My suspicion is you probably don't need to have both these things here. This seems like something you should definitely be proud of, and it's cool you did it at all, just given this small description. And I feel like you can probably stand to bundle this thing into here. That's my guess before we start watching it, but we'll see where we end up. I'm going to turn off my sidechain. We'll turn Chrome back up because it was at 5% volume. Everything looks okay, I think. And all right, let's watch a reel. Yes, everyone? Let's do it. Thank you all again for being here. And of course, like I was saying, feel free to drop your hot take opinions in the chat. It's a very open discussion kind of room here, okay? Let's go full screen and go. Hey, pretty good, man. I'm into it. I was at no point bored. Let's go through it in detail, shall we? And some claps in the chat, please. Alex Barnhart says major props on crediting the support studios on Call of Duty. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I actually didn't acknowledge that. I was too busy watching your hot sound design. Let's see here. So, Ali says, super cinematic. I think the first clip was a very strong one to lead with. I'm into it. You did some cool stuff that you didn't have to do. I haven't seen the original also, but I'm also, that's not really my scene. Yeah, cool. Okay, just like I was saying, we're going to go through our little criteria here just to keep things semi-controlled as far as the conversation's concerned. And we're going to try and wrap up, just as far as timing's concerned, we're going to try and wrap up Yuso's by like 4:50 or so. Well, in like half an hour. Or like 25 minutes. So we'll press play here. Presentation first. We got this. Slow fade in Yuso, and it's like a second is fade in. And we got no sound, which is too bad. I wish he did. But the thing is, your work after it's really good, so it's like I can deal with it. I will say that the very first time I watched it, the first clip I went like this because it started kind of suddenly. It was like slow fade in, and enough of that, you know. So if that's what you're going for, then cool. Just be aware that was definitely a semi jarring moment. Not a big deal. Just that's what it had. That's the effect it had on me. Okay, we got stuff here. Final Fantasy 14 Stormblood trailer, Square Enix, sound redesign. And all this stuff here still. We don't see this very often. Yeah, Al, I like the idea of having ambience first to prep people who's watching. So the thing is, what can happen when you have nothing is you can kind of unintentionally make people wonder if their sound is on. And then what happens is when you press play, their first thought isn't, okay, let's watch this thing. It's like, oh shit, is my stuff working or not? So they have this like immediate distraction because they might think that it's their fault there's no sound, especially for a sound design reel, you know? So it's not even like a question of, oh, well, it's like an artistic choice to bookend this like super cinematic experience with silence. It just comes with certain risks that you might want to be aware of that. Also cranks volume. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'll turn it up, and then it's just like crazy loud. So something to start, like a J cut, just to have audio first before you see it might be an idea. Alternatively, you know, people they have a cool intro splash of some kind, even just some animated text, and they'll design that as a little bit of like a showing of what they can do from an abstract standpoint. But okay, carry on. So I was gonna say we've seen this occasionally where you have the info in this shot at all times, and I have mixed feelings on it because I feel like it's just more information that I don't need because I know who I'm watching, and even if I didn't know who I was watching, it's right here and I can find the information again very easily. Let's see if you have it on your main page too. On like the main YouTube page. Yeah, you got it here. So like, I mean, you could put this info also here if you want. So I don't think you need to have it there. It's just like more stuff to look at that might distract the person from seeing that stuff, like watching the reel. But the thing is, your reel is pretty engaging. So I didn't really like personally. My feeling is that like this thing distracts, but it didn't really distract me that much from your reel. So it's kind of up to you. If you think it's important to have there, then so be it. But we don't see it very often in general in reels. Like I've seen it once. I'll see it like once in like 80 reels. It's really uncommon to have this here. So really up to you. I see it more with like artist reels for people who take screenshots from videos. That's interesting, yeah. But like for sound, it's not really a thing, you know? Good point, Gray. Thank you. Okay. So these titles are really boring. Also, just a heads up on that. This part of the stream, by the way, is talking about things that have nothing to do with your audio. It's just like, as a presentation standpoint, your page is like really basic, which is fine. It's fun. It's workable. It has the information. It has the content. So it's like it's the bare minimum of what you need as far as like making it, easy to parse and to have a home for someone to like to go to and look at your stuff, right? Very basic. But as far as like branding goes, it's doing absolutely nothing. So like I was saying with a distinction standpoint down here, it's not really helping you very much. And the thing is, because your main page doesn't have much in the way of branding, there's not much to grab onto for the main reel, right? Like some pages we'll see, they'll have, I mean, even we'll see if Thayer has it, but the main page has like a branding kind of idea to it. And then the reel, like the video, has maybe like the same icon or whatever, right? So it's just like Arial font or something like that. It's just Arial. So it's really, really basic. And while that thing, it's the kind of thing that won't necessarily hurt you if it's done poorly, but it's the kind of thing that like can't possibly hurt you if it's done well. Like it'll just be a good look. Because when you have titling that's like in a good spot, and I mean, I'm just gonna do the classic. It's the first stream of the year. How can we not go to this page, right? Get your shot glasses out. Take that shot at Jameson, josh@bell.com. I mean, Josh's titling is really, really good. And I mean, if I just compare like this, I'll just go full screen so you can see a bit easier. Like this titling is really slick, And then if we just compare to yours for a second, like this just doesn't look nearly as thoughtful. And what that can end up translating to, or what if it looks great, like if this looks really good, what that can translate to in the mind of an employer is that this person's reel who they're looking at, that they have mindfulness and skills beyond just audio. And that goes a long way in terms of being involved in a full development team, you know? So, and it also goes a long way in terms of speaking to your attention to detail and your like, you know, thoughtfulness in terms of how you present yourself. It just all speaks very well if it looks great. Whereas this, like I was saying, it might not hurt you, but it's like not helping you in any way whatsoever. Okay, just a heads up on that. This clip was so good, man. I love this clip, and I thought it was so tragic that at the end there's a hard cutoff. Because, like I was saying, the idea of this reel, like this reel serves as a teaser trailer for you, like for your skill sets, for what you can bring to a team, right? And in that sense, if you think about like a movie trailer, it's got a flow to it. It's got a flow that is constructed. It's like it is manufactured such that it engages the viewer and keeps them watching, right? So at this moment, when this clip finished, I was kind of sad because it sounded like this. Have a listen. Hear that? Just stops. And I was like, oh man. Like this, ideally, I think, if you're looking to sell your role, like sell your skills as a sound designer, your job is to support a story. You're supporting the story. You're supporting and driving the story with your audio work. And this moment right here is a wonderful moment to it's a wonderful opportunity to showcase your ability to push this story moment into this story moment and make that transition work well. The story moments being, Yuso did this thing, and then Yuso did this thing. So, unfortunately, there's nothing at all. And I feel you may be having in your head, like, okay, like palate cleanser, and now the next thing. But I don't know. I think that this hard cutoff, it just made me go like, that sounds like he didn't think about what that sounds like. So heads up there. Sledgehammer Games, Hyman Studios, Raven Software, Killer. Yeah, we've had some various folks from different teams guest hosting on here from these teams. Like freaking Mark Kilborn was on here from Raven from back in the day. And Travis Nace also was here. Okay, let's go into, I mean, same notes. Cool, you included the support studios, though. So cool, like Alex said. Same note on titling. This one finishes, and what? How'd this one finish? Like, even that one's better. It was a little more like, back up. It wasn't like, and then cut off and then carry on, right? Okay, and then this one, same thing, has stuff. Like, this just doesn't look, the text here, just due to the nature of the clip, the clip is kind of inset from the video. See, this clip is not, this one is. Do you see that? Like on the edges? As a result, your text is located outside your video pane. Again, these are just small details. These are the things that, like, I see these, you know? Like, if you're applying to Power Up Audio, like, I would see this. And it does not affect at all my opinion of your audio work, but it just makes me think, okay, so he doesn't really look at, like, the details like that much outside of audio. Okay, so in the ending, what happens? Right, so you had an L cut there. So you cut the video and let the audio carry on. So why not do the inverse to start? Have audio first and then bring the video in, right? Easy. It's a nice little kind of symmetry on your reel, right? Okay, so that's the gist. Let's see what people are thinking in the chat. Now that we're going into, well, let's talk about, I'm going to go to the chat because the chat's a lot of content stuff first. So I think, let's see here. Let's see. So as far as material selection goes, so Yuso, the thing is, I want to be really clear about this. When you're on your front page here, you know, like I go to your home page, you give me a card at some convention or an email or whatever. I go to your page. I'm probably gonna watch the top left thing first. Here's the thing: your content's good, so that's great. I mean, of course, it's very good news that your content's good, and what all that means is you've got your hooks in, and now someone's going to do something else on your page. So you probably want them to like do this next, right? Like to click here. But the thing is, you can't guarantee it. So if you have your hooks in on a great reel and you put some Unreal Wise stuff at the end, like this Sound Design reel has half of it is one clip. 30 seconds, it's done. Like, you could definitely make this clip shorter. You don't need to show the whole thing. You can put that in your portfolio if someone wants to see the whole thing. Make this shorter, include both these clips still, and then put some Wise stuff at the end. Be like, hey, look at me. I'm doing Wise and Unreal things. I'm building it myself. How cool is that? If you want to see more, they'll go see more. They'll go to your portfolio page and go look at your Unreal Wise content that is here. Full breakdown. Here it is. And how long is this? Like a bunch of minutes? Oh, 20 minutes.
Hi.
Amazing. And you're talking.
My name is Juuso Tolonen, and this is my Unreal and Wise
Juuso.
technical sound design and implementation demo.
What a Finnish accent. I love it. Let's go back to the main page for a second first, though. So I don't think you need both videos here. I'm curious, though. Let's watch this one first. Here we go. Oh, no, please. Here we go. Full screen. Whoa, that's hard to read, dude. Hey, Justin. Yeah, this video is so much worse immediately, in my opinion, than the one that's the full breakdown. I want to hear you talking, man. I think that showing, man, here is, you know, disclaimer, this is all just my opinion, right? It's all just my opinion. For reference, for anyone in the chat who's new, just for like cred stuff, I've contributed to in various capacities, like over, I don't know how many games, like over 300 games or something like that. And I have been with Power Up Audio. We co-founded. I'm the creative director, and I've been with them for 7 years. I've been 10 years in game audio. Okay, so using that information, here is my opinion. Okay, of how you can do this really successfully. I think you can go into your Unreal Wise tech demo that you've made, find some stuff that sounds sick or is interesting, and just capture that footage. You don't need to talk over it or put like text and stuff. You don't need to. Just in your sound design reel, just pick stuff that sounds awesome, and you know, sounds awesome like this stuff you've got that's otherwise that sounds awesome in your reel, and put it like right here with like 12 seconds left or 15 seconds left, and put it at the end. And that says to people who only have time to watch one thing, because that's what it comes down to, man. Like if you're giving your site to someone, you should be going into it assuming they have very limited time and they might only look at one thing. So this single video should accommodate for their 1 minute of time. It's a minute long, by the way, and that's awesome. Good length. Just assume this is all they will watch. And the thing is, if you have an awesome like Wise demo thing here at the end, and I've seen your stuff at the beginning and it sounds sick, and then you tell me, oh, by the way, I'm also like in Wise and Unreal all the time. That's a big deal. And then if I go look at that will catch my attention. And I suspect that if someone's like, oh, okay, sweet, this guy's pretty serious, let's dig deeper. I suspect that most people would either A, go read your bio and be like, who is this guy? Or they would go to your portfolio and watch the rest of this thing. By the way, your bio is really short and doesn't tell me a whole lot about yourself. It's kind of like this sentence is kind of a little generic. Sorry, I'll zoom in a little bit more for the stream. Just being, it's a bit like, I am passionate about game sound. That's kind of the gist of a lot of bios. So ideally, I like seeing stuff where it's like, I did this, I'm involved in this volunteer thing, I did this game jam, I did whatever. Like showing that you're actually like really involved in audio and here are things you've done, your past work, whatever. Like this is cool. I like that a lot. mentioning things like I know whys, like mentioning your skill sets a bit in your bio might be worthwhile too. Just this is very short. But anyway, so if they see your awesome design as Unreal with the awesome why stuff at the end, they will either look at your bio first or they'll go to your portfolio. When they go to your portfolio, the first thing they see is this thing you made, which is awesome. And if...
Hi.
No, not even if. If they're watching this at all, that means you've got their attention. Because no one's going to watch this thing first. Okay? Like, no one's going to watch this until they have a reason to, because it's 18 freaking minutes long. So, and the thing is, you're talking, man. And in your front page when you're not talking, and it's the worst. I absolutely hate, and I know I'm not alone in this in the industry. I hate videos where it's like, here's the why is an Unreal thing I did, here's the Fmod and Unity thing I did, and they just like write text on the whole thing the whole time. Because I'm reading the text rather than watching what you're doing in Unreal and Wise or Fmod and Unity or whatever, right? Whereas if you're talking to us, you can be like doing this stuff and talking us through what you did, and it's so much more effective. Like, I don't even want to watch the ones that just have text. I just close it. I didn't watch it, right? Didn't I not watch it? There you go. I opened the thing and closed it right away. I wasn't even talking about my mindset in that case. But this thing, you're talking, and I want to hear this.
Hi.
We'll watch
My
a
name
bit.
is Yuso Tolonen, and this is my Unreal and Wise technical sound design and implementation demo. I created this game as a part of a Udemy course, learning Unreal, C++, and blueprints. All of the game assets are free assets from the Epic Marketplace. In this video, I'm going to showcase some of the features in the game, my thought process, and how I implemented sounds.
Like, isn't this so much more engaging? Just chat. Am I wrong? Like, so much more engaging immediately than this front page thing. Let's watch, like, 30 of this. Ugh! I can't even watch it. I may have strong opinions on this matter. Your accent, no, man, the Finnish accent's sweet. I love it. I feel bad that I can't do it when I'm trying to speak Finnish. I just sound like an idiot. I sound like a Canadian speaking Finnish. Okay, so yeah, let's go content quality. We have like 5-6 minutes left to talk about some more things. I don't have many notes, honestly, on your content. I like it. Let's watch it again. Yeah, apart from that regrettable finish, finish, ending. Yeah, I liked everything else. Cool. I think it's just probably too long. You don't need to have it that long. You have more room for things. Moving on. I felt this is quieter. Am I wrong? That's one thought I had after this first clip. I'm watching my input here on the PC side. Like, that gets pretty loud at the end. This gun in the front, I felt like should be way more in my face. And for something so action-packed, I feel like you have room to go up dynamics-wise in this gunfire. The very first time I watched it, I thought the gun was quiet. Like, it felt like this thing was so loud, the very end of the explosion. And then the gun was like... Yeah, I mean, the retracting of the gun is almost as loud as the gunfire was. And actually, the deploying of the gun, too, is similarly loud. Yeah, I think the mix in this one is maybe a little questionable. You got room to move things around a little more, I think. Let's watch some more time. I like the sound design, like the coming out and firing and stuff. But naturally, we're going to be nitpicking for sure. Alex says, very good content. This is all pretty nitpicky. I think some stuff could have a little more impact / clarity in the mix. It's a giant mech. It does feel like it should be bigger. Yeah. I'm going to read some more notes from people in the chat, too, because there was a lot that were mentioned earlier on. So, Pomodi said, I feel like Cyberpunk is an odd choice because it cuts around a lot. I like how everything sounded. Yeah, okay. We'll have a look at that in a second. We got Ali with the leading with the ambience note, totally. And then I thought someone else said something else about this stuff. Perhaps I misread. Okay, let's carry on. Let's see. Yeah, so we are nitpicking this point now, Yuso. Like this is for example, like this guy walking is so like freaking loud. And then this guy, let's hear him. Silent. So if we're to believe these mechs are like huge and massive and loud, then this thing should for sure be heard. Like in this cacophony, you know? There's even a bit of a break between the deployment and the firing. You know, where we should absolutely be hearing it in that mix. At least a bit. So I think this middle one is maybe the weaker and I suspect you designed it earlier. That's my suspicion compared to your first clip. We'll carry on. Like that stuff, there's so much contour and detail at the end there, that's great. I think you have more room for things like what actually blew up, what are these materials flying towards you. It's a little bit nondescript explosion when it blows up. But it seems to be like a helicopter or something, right? Like, what is this? I think you're shooting a helicopter. It's kind of a low quality video too. So I think, or is it low quality or just that the video? I don't know. Like, this seems to be a helicopter. There's a propeller and stuff, I think. But I just learned nothing from what this thing you blew up was from the audio. So I feel like even though it's far away, I think you can still kind of get a little more of that in your mix. Let's move on. Just really quick, this is all in the effort of helping to support the story, right? So a good exercise that comes up in this show all the time is closing your eyes and seeing if you can pick out the entire scene. Your first scene had a lot of that going on. I heard like this brief little breath from the enemy, and then like a little like from this guy, and then like I could kind of keep track of where I was in the scene. Like if I close my eyes again, I could probably track what all happened and what was all around. The second scene, not so much. We'll go to Cyberpunk 2077, which is delayed, by the way, to September 18th. Oof. Yeah, I agree that this, so in terms of, like the last thing I'm going to talk about in terms of like presentation stuff is that this reel on the whole feels kind of like the content's really good, but as a reel, I think it struggles a bit to find its groove, to find its flow. You have this 30-second opening, so half the reel is one clip, and then we have a second clip. It's pretty stationary, but it's one single clip. It's like brief movement, and then shoot stuff for a while, blows up, and we're still the same spot, same camera, and done. So the camera was here the entire time. It was like, well, it's like this, what, and it stays here, right? And now we're at 46, 47, and the remaining 13 seconds or so is like just this schizophrenic like cutting around thing. So it's really kind of off off balance, I guess is a good word to use. The first half, it's like front-loaded, long clip, and like shorter clip, no movement in the camera, and then there's like this frenetic jumping around. So the jumping around, I agree. I think it was Pomodi that said that, right? I agree that it was a little bit like, whoa, what is happening right now? That said, I like the sound design. So it really comes down to what you think. If you feel like you're not as concerned about like a reel that flows well, then so be it. I think that your sound design is good enough that it's doing a great job of like carrying the team, so to speak. If you have like kind of all these different things that could help you stand out, sound design being one of them, it's doing a great job. So you could like just bank hard on like, well, I hope that people like my sound and that's good enough for them. Or you can start putting more work into like other details that might help sell you as a member of the team, right? Because in the end, if you're looking to get hired, all you're doing is you're looking to convince people to trust you with a salary or with their baby if they're like an independent developer or whatever, right? And the more mindfulness and thoughtfulness you can put into how you're presenting yourself, the more easily you will convince them to trust you. That's just how it comes down, all right? So, yeah, I don't really have notes in the back end either. Like it's just pretty solid. The ambience is like fine. I like how these are really good story moments, like kind of the struggling and the explosion. It's cool. Yeah, overall, I think that you are absolutely standing out, but it's like for your sound alone. And that's not a bad way to stand out, honestly. I think that it's like really solid. And your tech demo being 18 minutes long, I'm going to leave this page open and watch a little more of that later on. We don't really have time for all of it right now, but I do want to get to Thayer, obviously. It's just awesome you have it at all. I'm going to do a real quick glance at your portfolio, and then we'll talk about distinction, and we'll move on, okay? So we have the Wise demo. Yeah, cool. Epic Marketplace sounds, assets, rather. It's all in blueprints. Yeah, good stuff. And here's Hero Siege. So this is a game you worked on, but it wasn't in your reel. Is this your clip or somebody else's clip? I'm curious. This is your clip. Okay, this clip is like not the best for showing your sound design because it's kind of the same thing over and over again, but I get why you used it. I think you can put stuff you worked on in your reel, man, but I understand why you're not if you want to work in AAA. Oh, you could miss this. The thing is, it's not a big deal if you miss this. It's almost like a follow-up, like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, he's also worked on stuff. That's neat. But it can be, it's a very... Realize there are a lot of sound designers who have worked on nothing, and they have sound redesigns in their reel and nothing else. So if you show that you've shipped things, that goes a long way. Which you kind of are. It's a tough. It's if you realize. Thanks, Pomodi. It can be a challenging balance to strike sometimes. There's many things. Battle Buzz. Yeah, okay, so my guess is you've worked on various things, but you want to work in AAA. That's my understanding of this page. So I get it. And again, your content's good, so I wouldn't be too concerned beyond like, oh, it can be nice to say I have worked on things, just so you know. Okay, so distinction-wise, yeah, I think you're standing out. I think that you could just put a little more time into those details, and it can't possibly hurt you. And your sound is really strong, and it's carrying the team right now in a big way. So if you did want to put some work into like, well, again, I'm gonna open up that page from our good friend Josh Adam Bell. Like his page just says like, it's this thing, it has that, and then you load up the reel and it's like, yeah, here it is again. It's sound designed. Like this guy's obviously so serious, Like look at this. This page is all like the same style. It looks really good. And the thing is, Josh's stuff sounds kick-ass. And your stuff sounds good too. But the thing is, if you're up against Josh, they might hire Josh. just because your stuff doesn't have that same kind of like mindfulness to everywhere else or everything else to be considered for how you're presenting yourself. So that's what it comes down to. It's not always like how good you are, but how good everyone else is too, you know? Okay, so thanks a lot, pal. Super good. I'm into it. And I hope some of that was helpful, and I hope you can get some sleep, man. I apologize. Good night to you. I assume you're just going to close that window right now. Good night. Oh, man. How do you say good night in Finnish? Hyvää yötä. Is that right? Hyvää yötä. Yötä. So that's a brutal accent, just like your English is brutally Finnish accented. Okay, let's move on to Thayer. Thayer Helu. Hey, it's Pierre-Antoine Savoy? I think that's right. I gotta say for Thayer. Okay, you're staying for Thayer. Get on you. He's talking to you. Let's move this over here for the time being. Great. And then, okay, Thayer. Here we go. Thayer Helu. I have 2 links here from Thayer. I have the game music demo reel, which is apparently a look at what he can do when composing for video games, featuring a series of personal compositions and redesigns, and bookended by my work as composer and sound designer for the Baham Bullet Hell project. Okay, and then we have About Me. Well, the main page, actually. We'll go back to lordthayer.com, where we end up. Here we are, and we're going to go, it may look, here's the main page. Here's relatively what it should look like. I'm going to glance through pages first without zooming in, but for the sake of the stream, I'm going to zoom in even though things break. Okay, Thayer? So portfolio, we'll have a glance. Here's some stuff. Oh, this like ends short too. Is that intended? I guess so. And then we have about. And cool. All right. Oh, weird. There's like, so right here, the background doesn't line up, but I guess it's intended kind of. Oh, I see. You're repeating the graphic. Okay. That's neat. See ya, Delager. Thank you for swinging by. Okay, let's go into... Okay, we'll glance at the main page first. We got current project time dumpster. The very first thing we see... Oh, no, my bad. That's portfolio. The very first thing we see is your game music demo reel. Is that the same thing as this page? If I go to, like... I'm going to play this for a second. Or can I play it? How do I go to this video? Isn't there a way? I want to share? Yeah, there's a link. Okay. Is that this link? It's the same one, man. Why do I have 2 links? Did I open that link? Oh, I see. The video's in case. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just leave without it. So 1 link it is. 1 link. So we have game music demo reel first. And then him tatted out with his pets. Great. Okay, and that's it. We have some contact stuff. This is not a link, though. Couldn't hurt. Let's go about. I'd link this stuff, man. Even like a link on the Instagram, on the Twitter. It's an idea. Again, can't hurt. Okay. Excuse me. Some water here. Okay. My name is Thayer Helu. Helu? Helu? Helu. Helu. Please, help me out here. I hate saying last names wrong. Everyone says Regami, and it's Regami. Thayer Helu. But you may call me Lord Thayer. Helu. He? Not he? Helu? I assume Helu. Okay, let's go. I'm a composer and sound designer for video games and films, currently living in Birmingham, Alabama. I spent a decade of my life writing rock music inspired by video game scores and culture, and now I've made it my life's work to write scores informed by my time as a rock musician. My field of specialization is writing adaptive music and audio for interactive media, with experience writing for linear media as well. You can find examples under the Portfolio tab. You have an extra errant space here, right there. I'm zooming in so you can see it. Oh god, it even goes to the right. I can't even zoom in. I can't read it. I have to go 25%? This is a thing to... Oh, he like a man. He like a man? Helu. Thayer Helu. Okay, got it. Thayer Helu. Thank you for clarification. Your portfolio has an extra space before portfolio, as well as breakdowns of some of my implementation work. Over the years, I've also leveled up my graphic design and pixel art skills. 2 spaces between and pixel. And have created everything you see here. Cool. Good stuff. My favorite game soundtracks: Xenogears, Chrono Cross, Final Fantasies, and Nier Automata. My favorite recent games: Sekiro, Sayonara Wild Hearts. Yo! Good. Daniel Olson did the audio for that. River City Girls, Trails of Cold Steel 2, Wander Song, made by a good pal of mine, Greg Labanov, here in Vancouver. Lives like 30 blocks that way, 20 blocks that way, less. And also audio by Shell in the Pit, our audio BFFs here in Vancouver. My favorite game series: Final Fantasy, Suikoden, Legend of Heroes, and the Souls things. Soulsborne. Dark. So Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Born Souls. And Saga. Okay, great. Cool. Good on you. I like when people include their game stuff beneath it. That's fun. Okay. Great. Here he is talking. This is like a classic RPG animating portrait for an NPC. Like Faxanity, it's like it's like 2 frames. One is like eyes open, mouth open. Another one's like eyes closed, mouth closed. Awful. Okay, portfolio. Let's go. We got current project Time Dumpster, sci-fi comedy. But you can't show it, I assume? Is that why it's not here at all? Let me try it on my Chrome on my other machine. LordThayer.com. LordThayer. I'm on a Mac now on Chrome, and zooming in works fine. Interesting. I don't know. So the Mac is totally fine. On PC, it apparently gets real angry. So I couldn't tell you. Okay, I mean, I guess it's valuable having it there. I don't know. If I can't see anything about it, it's like it's questionable as far as what value it adds for being there. But I guess it shows you're doing stuff. Yeah. Okay, path of what's happening. Oh, these are tunes, I assume, right? Stage. Okay, music, and sound design. Okay. So the stage and boss tracks from the, we'll say Bam Bullet Hell project, for which I did the music and sound design. Oh, this is a sentence fragment. Oh, it's describing this thing. Okay, I see. So I saw this Bam Bullet Hell project. I thought you were going to tell me about the project, but then this is like describing the things over here. So I understand. The music serves as the bookends for my demo reel, and what? The music serves as bookends for my demo reel, and I've embedded a short video below that showcases either kill off that or say showcases. My sound design work. Okay, envisioned as a tale of a machine rebelling against the heavens, fighting angels made of stained glass, and culminating. Yeah, it's kind of weird, man, because it's written as point form, but it's like in paragraphs. So I like a hard time reading this. Does that make sense? Like it's all. This is a full sentence. Well, it's got the weird word in there, but it's a full sentence, and then like the other ones aren't. They're like kind of point form or like bullet point or sentence fragments. So I had a hard time getting through those, but it's just a heads up there. Dynamic RPG music showcase. Mega Man redesign. That's kind of cool. Mega Man, interesting. Huh. All synth orchestration. JRPG combat music, and music excerpts from my score for The Mirror. What is The Mirror? The Mirror is probably Oh. Sidewalk Film Festival. Okay, cool. All right. So, including film stuff in your games-focused page is something you need to decide whether you want to do or not. I think it is... If you're real clear that you're focused in game stuff, which I think you are, because this is so like, oh, and also this thing, by the way, at the end of your portfolio. And I think that's okay. But yeah, you just got to be really careful when you include film and game stuff in the same page, because then you end up, well, you risk ending up people walking away thinking like, oh, okay, they have like split priorities. I feel like the descriptions are distracting, says Pomodi. I also seeing 3 of the same thumbnail is a bit off-putting. Agreed. Well, it's not like the same. I mean, this is the same thumbnail. I like these thumbnails more because this shows me a bit of what I can expect to see. But I don't know. That's fine. We'll go look at the reel now, okay? Reel? Oh, but first, there are literally no games programs here in Birmingham. Yeah, Alabama isn't like a big game state, is it? And thus almost no game designers, so I'm trying not to alienate the small film scene we do have. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it may be worth having like lordthayer.com/film or something, you know, and then have like the film relevant stuff there. Because what it comes down to is your page is serving as a landing pad for someone you hope to work with, right? Like that's why we have web pages, is to inform people what our deal is and say like, hey, like perhaps there's a potential for a collaboration here, right? So if they land on your page and the stuff on the page isn't relevant to their interests, like if it's game stuff, then yeah, like you're saying, that may alienate or make them feel like, well, this isn't even relevant to what I want to do, so why am I here right now? And the same can go the other way too, right? If it's like a game person and there's film things, to be like, oh, this is a film person, so I guess I'll move on because there's tons of game people that want this job. So it's kind of up to you. I've seen people before that have like a games page and a film page. So consideration. Let's watch this thing, shall we? Full screen. It is 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. That, in my opinion, is on the long side. We'll see how far we get. If it comes to a point where I feel like, had I not been on stream, had I been watching this alone with my laptop or something and some headphones, and there came a point, or there would have come a point, you know, had I been alone, that I may want to feel like skipping ahead or just closing the page entirely, I will pause there. I will let you know. But we will watch the whole thing for the sake of the stream, okay? So let's go. I feel like skipping. It's 1:34. Hey, so 1:30 is like my cutoff for music reels, but I feel like skipping right now. I'm not going to do it, okay? Out of respect to you, you're watching me do it. I will not skip. Let's carry on. Thanks, buddy. Okay, I think it's too long, but on the whole, like, cool. Yeah. This isn't really that much of like a game music feedback kind of stream. It's mostly game audio, so I think I'll focus more on like we won't go too in depth in your like the content quality of your music, just because I don't feel like I'm the best person to do so. But yeah, we have plenty to talk about here. That's fine. So let's do it again. Lord Thayer sound. So it says sound. Does it say sound here too? Yeah, sound. It's real music though. Like it's real music. Okay. So let's see here. Reverb in the void and bassist are both into your Mega Man stuff, my friend. Reverb says, I had briefly been on another tab. You would dare alt tab away from this stream. You would dare. And thought, that's totally Mega Man music. There you go. I feel similarly, actually. Nice work. Bassist, kind of nitpicking. Your orchestral stuff starts to blend together when that much of it is back to back. Yeah. You don't really need to have that much in there, I don't think. You have room to cut. Again, think of this as a teaser trailer, just a teaser. You don't need to show everything. It's a bit of a balance to strike, but I understand the inclination, and I'm guilty of this. My first reel was like 3 minutes of only audio sound effects, like montage together. In fact, let me see if I can find it. I can probably find it fast. Give me a second, just to make you feel like like anyone, I guess, who is trying to make it. Like, we all start somewhere, you know? It's real bad. I think I found it. Here we go. A reel. Is this it? SFX Consolidated? Oh, man, I thought I had this. Restoration after another... No! Compilation? I totally had this. SFX Reels. Wait. Is this it? Is this it? Yeah! This is 3 minutes long, okay? Are you not compelled and engaged by my content? You are not entertained whatsoever. It's really boring to not look at anything. So, yeah, I mean, the job of anybody who's trying to, like, you know, prop themselves up and say, hey, you should hire me, is to make themselves look awesome. And the challenge with that, like, think about a movie trailer. It only lasts so long. The ones that are super long, you're like, oh man, like, get on with it, right? Or it's got to be, like, really, really compelling and made in a certain way to accommodate for the length. Like Death Stranding, for example, has these like 9-minute trailers, but they're short films. We're not making a short film when we just add more content to a demo reel, you know? So it's got to be enough to, like, get the hooks in and to leave them wanting more. That's the goal here. So it may feel like you only have this video, you got to show them all your stuff, but it's kind of counterproductive. Ideally, you want to show them your absolute best stuff you're most proud of, that you think will be most effective in terms of convincing them that you are the man for the job, and then just get out of there and let them go about their business and, like, look at your stuff at their own pace. Don't hold them hostage in a video, okay? So, for example, this first piece, oh my god, I'm turning it down, okay? This first piece into the second piece was, like, pretty similar in terms of palette. I kind of, maybe it was the strings. I'm just gonna press play again. Like, it's even the same key, I think. Isn't it the same key center? Bum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da. Like, it's cool in terms of that thing I was talking about with Yuso, where, like, you have a great transition point, and it does flow from one thing into the next, but it's almost, like, too much, you know? This, by the way, is, like, and I swear infrequently on this channel, this is fucking awesome. This is so cool. Man, like a dynamic redesign. We often recommend that people redesign gameplay and they choose a clip, like for composers, Richard, sorry buddy. For composers, they choose a clip like you have that illustrates a change in tone and then suiting their music to kind of mock up what their dynamic approach might have sounded like. And this is so cool, man. Like, you got the knob right there. You're not mocking it up. It's like, no, this works. Listen to it. That is so cool. Man, good job. Like, this is awesome. I was kind of disappointed that it got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm done. Because this is so effective at convincing me that you know what you're doing. Very cool. And bear in mind, like, a lot of composers don't really have interest in this kind of thing. So showing you do and you know what's up is a boon for sure. Yeah, and then this thing too is like I assume it's from combat, right? To combat, from combat. Yeah, to combat, from combat. So cool. Great transition, new take, updated Mega Man X, so cool. Yeah, I get it with the linear montage stuff. It's just that you're already pretty far into the reel, and I don't know. It felt like a little bit more of the same, but and all synthesizer concept piece, like I don't really. I don't know if like talking about the piece and how you made it and what's in it is that relevant to a teaser trailer style reel. I mean, maybe sometimes it's like, oh, that's really cool, actually, that's neat that you did this. But like linear redesign is kind of the gist. That's enough. But I get, because it's a piece you're showing to like, oh, this is like an idea for many of these games. Like, sure, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, so Gray totally missed it. And the thing is, I was missing it too, because I was like, I saw this clip, whatever the first clip was. Yeah, Owlboy. I was like, oh, Owlboy, and it's like linear montage redesigns. And I was like, oh, he didn't say Owlboy, that's kind of unfortunate. And then it just moved into more clips. And I was like, oh. So the thing is, it's a bit discourteous to the developers too, honestly. Like, not saying this is Owlboy, this is Fez. I think it's worth saying, like, what if you do want to have this kind of clip, I think you should at least give the courtesy to the developers, like, what this is, and say it's it's not your game, right? And similar, like Persona, just make sure you're saying what these things are. Okay, moving on. So this, you already showed some of this game too. Like, you showed it at the beginning, right? Like, you showed it here, and it came back, and I was like, oh, we're doing this again, hey? So I'm not sure what was different here. Like, it said music and sound design. I don't really hear the sound design though. Like, I don't hear any bullets or any impacts. So I don't really know what you were showing off there in terms of sound design. It's a little bit misleading. Like, it says Lord Thayer's sound, But then on your about, it says, my passion is music, writing scores, rock musician. My specialization is writing music, but and audio, but like you haven't really done much to demonstrate your. I mean, writing audio is kind of a weird thing. Like writing music and audio is a little strange to say, but like music, sure, but you haven't really shown the music or the sound stuff very much. Trying to show the boss alarm going into the music. I didn't at all get that, unfortunately. Just a heads up on that one. Was it here-ish? Here you go. 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 Please. What? Okay. Okay, yeah, that's cool. It is cool, but it's definitely not very soundy. Are you doing... Here's a question for you. So we have a little bit of time left here. Are you doing sound because you think you need to do sound? Or are you doing sound because you actually do want to specialize in like game audio, like sound for games, as opposed to music? Because this clip does not demonstrate sound design. In fact, it demonstrates to me that you may have a you may lack some perspective on like what good sound design should be, because I don't hear anything in the scene, like no impacts or anything, right? So the warning thing's all well and good, but then going into this, I'm like, wow, like, you know, Thayer thinks this is fully sound designed, like that may leave me with some question marks over my head, you know? So that's one thing to consider. So I'll wait until you answer that question regarding music and sound. It's just, yeah, so right now, this being Lord Thayer sound is a little misleading because it's really, really music heavy. You actually asked the Beards, Cats, and so Matt and Gord, right? About that sound thing, lol. But ideally, I would actually just do music, but I do love doing sound design as well. Just haven't done much of it. Yeah, I mean that's very common for composers in games to kind of like Ben Prunty, for example, who we're doing Subnautica Below Zero with, and we did Into the Breach with, and we did Starcrawlers with back in the day. He's also known for FTL, of course. He is a very, very talented composer, but he hates doing sound design. Like when we joined for Into the Breach, and he's like, "Oh my god, you're saying I don't have to do sound design for Into the Breach? Like I did for FTL? Like amazing, thank you." Like he was stoked to not do it. And the thing is, he's done very well not doing it because he focuses hard in the music side of things, right? So it's for certain very possible to specialize in music. There are a lot of composers, but you have a strong brand. Your tunes aren't bad. I think I have some notes here and there, but like... One thing I'll say is that your bass is like... It stood out to me as pretty lacking. Like, it seemed really like MIDI, like bandpassed almost. Your tune sounded. I literally brought up a frequency analyzer on my other screen. Check this out. Look at this. There it is. It's right there. See, I'm not lying to you. So, so like, I was looking at your bass content and being like, hey, Riley Koenig. So there's a composer with Power Up, actually. He's done a lot of good stuff with us, doing Phantom Brigade with us right now. And he doesn't do sound design at all. And he's a super talented composer. So that's totally fine not to. Totally fine. You're afraid of alienating sound design if you go with Lord Thayer music. Believe me, if your clients want sound also, they will probably ask you, do you do sound? And you will be able to say yes. Just be aware that right now, if you want to do sound too, that's totally fine. Just your reel does nothing to tell me you do sound. That's the issue, right? So it's kind of almost, it's like two issues. Like one, do you even want to? And two, are you demonstrating that you can? And it's kind of up to you to decide like what you want to do, right? Okay, so one thing cool that you like have the same color, like the golden font for this stuff, like same as your page, right? So I'm gonna blast through. We kind of went off the rails. I was saying we have this criteria here. We have this stuff here to avoid going off the rails. It still happens sometimes, so I apologize. But we're gonna blast through your presentation really fast here, just because I kind of just glossed over it. Like I was saying, it's pretty long. You can probably max out at like 130. I'm gonna turn my side channel on again. You can probably max out at like 130. You don't need more than that. This bit here, I think you can probably make this rectangle, like the opacity on the rectangle a bit darker, because it's still competing with background content just a hair. Furthermore, there was some parts where the black doesn't even cover everything. There was one in there, like right here, see? Bullet Hell, BAM, game developers. The black goes to here and just stops. You can see that very well in this clip. But yeah, just be aware that that was something I saw in the very first watch. So this stuff here, like it just doesn't envelop it, right? So that's like those details I was talking to Yuso about. So moving on. Again, this is super, super cool. That's really exciting that you did that. That made my day, man. Good for you. And then Mega Man was awesome. Super cool. This one's like now too big. So I think the gradient thing that like Josh and Bell did, it works really well. But if you must do it like this, then just make sure it's consistent. You have a walkthrough vid. Okay, let's watch that walkthrough vid really fast here too. It's like 5:29. This is all fine, yeah. And the ending. Oh, there's that same thing at the end though. Same beyond the rectangle. And finish. You may want to put your contact info on this screen also. You don't know who's watching this or how they got here, and it can never hurt just to always put your content, like, you know, make it a bit smaller and put this beneath it, like in the video. Can't hurt. Material. So it's kind of, you have this thing you're working on, and then you have this dynamic thing, which is really cool. And it shows that, hey, I want to work on like JRPG style stuff or whatever. But here's some Mega Man things too. I have versatility, and here's some more indie games. So this said to me in a big way, I want to work on like indie projects. Yeah, that's what it said to me. Like it says I want to work on indie projects, and I love these kinds of games. So there you go. And then content quality. We talked about I don't want to talk about like the mix on stuff too much, but in general, I think that your music it sounds band passy and kind of centered, I think also. Like that one's better. That's good too, actually. Might be a samples thing. I don't know. Just it's very, yeah. It just feels kind of really limited in terms of its scope, both in terms of frequency range and like stereo field. But okay, let's. I don't have more notes in this stuff, honestly, as far as content goes. So, last thing is distinction. First, let's watch that walkthrough vid though. Where is that? Here it is. Dynamic RPG Showcase. Is that this one? Oh, walkthrough. Here we go. Let's do it. Last thing we'll do. You better talk, though. You gonna talk?
Hi, this is Lord Thayer, and welcome to my walkthrough of the dynamic music system I created in Fmod Studio for my Ni no Kuni 2 rescore. On a technical level, the system is actually pretty simple, because it leans heavily on the composing side of things rather than the implementation side. Basically, I've composed two separate pieces of music that share the same melodies, key, tempo, and structure. One for force exploration and one for combat, and I've tied their volume automation to this enemies parameter you see up here. When it's set to 0, meaning no enemies, the combat music is muted, and the force music just loops continually. But once you're engaged in combat...
I think your voice can come up, man. I'm straining just a hair to hear you. It's like, it is above the mix, but it's like a little bit of a competition.
It will quickly turn the volume of the exploration music down while turning the volume of the combat music up. And it reverses this process once there are no enemies present. You can see that I have also put the brass instruments from the combat music on a separate track. I did this because I wanted to make sure that the main melodies you hear go completely uninterrupted, so the brass fades in just a bit quicker than the rest of the instruments, since they carry the most important melodies.
Cool.
I've also written 2 short audio stingers that trigger separately when going in and out of combat to help with the musical transitions. One is tied to the to combats parameter, which works to usher in the intensity of the combat music. And one is attached to the from combat parameter, which helps to ease things back down a bit. And together, this system sounds like this.
Yeah, the classic cymbal swell to mask every transition. It's our best friend, isn't it?
And that's really all there is to it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Thayer. Cool, cool. Is your stuff phasing? Is that what's going on? There's something happening in that main clip. I can't figure it out. And is that why the base content is kind of absent? Is it just phasing? I'm gonna record this and have a look. Okay, I hope you don't mind. I'm probably gonna end the stream right there. I'm gonna have a look at this and I'll let you know there if I find something weird. But otherwise, I think we can probably call it right there. And so again, distinction-wise, we're gonna stop before saying that there. I think that your page looks awesome. It reminds me a lot of another page we saw very early in Real Talk history. Some of you might know it if you're geniuses, and if you're die-hard Real Talk fans. I am talking about, of course, AshtonMorris.com. Oh my god. Oh, new reel too. Look at this. Changed it up. New from like 2 years ago or whenever I looked at it. This is sick. Look at him. It's him in the windows doing stuff. Audio things. Recording a bird. He's freaking. It's wonderful. So this kind of thing stands out. The fact that I looked at that page like 2 years ago, I still recall it. That says something, you know? So Lord Thayer with the pooch. The matching fashion. Pretty good. And this is a big one too. The dynamic redesign is so cool. That's very unusual, and I love it. I 100% looked at that page while making mine. Hey, good on you. You could have, there's a lot worse people to choose from as far as a template or a guide. So, I think you are standing out in some respects. I think that just being a little clearer with your message in terms of what you're doing might be helpful and might be a good move for you, like the sound versus music thing. And being real clear on like what you want to be doing and what you can do and so forth. Yeah, and just like deal with a small. I mean, I don't know what's happening here. Oh, now it's working again. What's happening? What happened, man? I have no idea. I can't tell you what happened there. Maybe it was like an embedded Vimeo thing. I don't know. No idea. But anyways, I'm gonna call it right there. Thank you so much, both Yuso Tolonen and Thayer Helu. Thanks so much. And we have a fellow Tim Utting, I think his last name is, next week. And past that, like our January is pretty wide open. So if anyone in the chat wants to send things our way, or if you know somebody who's looking to get some traction in their own career, then of course feel free to point them our direction. And we would be more than happy to give at least our opinion. And like I was saying, perhaps some guest hosts on in the future as well. Okay, so thank you very much. I'm going to get on, oh my goodness, the freaking Relay Bros again. I'm throwing on the Marble Garden Zone, I think, is a good one. Please? Let's go. Oh yeah. See you, pals. Bye.